Okay, so today I'm going to be doing a cam swap on my 1996 F-150, and we're just draining the oil right now. We got the hood off, and we're starting to unplug some of the components here in the engine. And I'll be recording my journey step by step, and I'll show you guys my parts, what I have, in case you want to do it yourself. And yeah, so we're going to get started here, emptying the coolants next. Okay, so we have got the fan here off, and that we did it with two people, but you can do it with one, but you have to be pushing like opposite directions to do it. And the last one, you put a vice grip on it. So if you're doing that, that's a little bit tricky. We took off the belt, took off the hose, the upper hose here, the coolant. That's a little bit messy, as you can see. So you want a pail under there. And then we took off this whole intake, like a shroud, and what goes up here, the little like cold air kind of intake thing. And then now we're taking off the AC compressor. And this one you could do, if you take the stuff off, you have to get it recharged. So don't take the stuff off. You can just take the 4 bolts off and set it up here. You don't have to do that. But yeah, then we took off this like throttle body, kind of coolant reservoir, batteries out. So, and the belt is gone. So our next step is probably gonna be that lower hose and the, as I said, the AC compressor. So we're gonna get to that now. Okay, so we got these, the AC compressor off. He's just finishing up. We're zip tying it to the fender so we don't it doesn't fall down. But if you do, as I stated before, if you do unclip those, you will have to get your AC recharged. So I didn't want to do that. So I'm just I got my thing here. They're labeled, so I don't know. It's really hard to see, but there's writing on these bags. It says AC front plug, AC rear plug, so then we know when I got to put it all back together. But yeah, so we got that off. So now we're going to do the bottom hose. And yeah, and then we're pretty well, this is going to be the nasty one because most of our coolant will come out with it. But yeah, so we're going to do this. All right, so we got this, the lower coolant hose detached here. There was a lot of coolant in it, so you need a bucket, like we got our bucket below there. So now we are moving on to, I think we're going to take off this main harness here, and then we're going to start touching on the stuff on this side. So we kind of worked from this side over. So we're going to start touch on this side. I guess I got to disconnect that brake booster, but other than that, we're going to start on this side. So yeah, see you guys in a second. Okay, so we have, I don't know exactly where I left off, but we took out these 2 hoses here for, there's coolant going through. I don't know what those are exactly for, but we took those off. I probably should know, but whatever. And the alternator, we took off the alternator like clips and stuff. Took off the one for the EGR valve, the vacuum, and we took off all that stuff. So yeah, I guess we'll move on to, and I did the main harness there. You need to get the 10 mil off of there, so do that. But yeah, so now I think we're gonna move on to this back side of the engine. All right, so now we've gotten this exhaust piece out. Most of these we had to break off or grind off. And this, we could just unclipped it from, it's above the transmission is where that meets, and that was a handful to take off, but we got it off. And then this pipe, we just cut it because it's not going to be going back on. So, because that's all rusted up, you probably won't be able to get it off either, but so we cut that and then we cut it back there too. So now this is your whole section. And this won't be going on for me again, but yeah, so. All right, so after many trials and tribulations, we finally got the engine out. As you can see here, it's looking a little rough, dirty. I painted some of the stuff on top of there, but the actual engine's looking pretty dirty. Everything's pretty functional though, like nothing's broken. We didn't really break anything. Oh, knocking tools over here. We didn't really break anything, but came out pretty good. The only thing I recommend if you guys are doing this is get a pry bar and pry while you're lifting it up. Pry it from the transmission first. Like just put a little bit of pressure, pry the transmission off because there's like the 2 dowels there. Like here, like there's one of the dowels right here. So you got to pry, go on this side, pry it, and then there's one on the other side right there. Pry it. And then get like a big flathead or a crowbar. We use a crowbar, so get it and pry it under the motor mount there after you unbolted them and pry up while you're lifting it out. And then just wiggle the heck out of it. And then the best advice, if you're wondering why there's a whole bunch of wood shavings here, best advice, put a piece of plywood in between your radiator and your engine. Put it right up flat against it. And then while you're lifting, you can pull the piece of wood up and it will protect your radiator, because I don't even have anything wrong with it now. But if I didn't have that piece of wood there, my radiator would have been toasted. So do that. See, power steering's unplugged. The transmission, make sure you block it up, because if you don't, it just falls down. So that's an important one. I put just a tire under there and kind of put some blocks and made it so it's not really going to go anywhere. But yeah, so now we're gonna start taking it apart, disassembling it. We're gonna get it on the Mastercraft engine stand, and we're gonna start taking it apart and yeah, put the cam swap in. Okay, so I got this off my hoist and onto my stand here, and I've been starting to take stuff apart. Like I got the AC compressor was here, so I guess I already took that off, but the alternator's coming off, and now I'm gonna start taking this power steering bracket off. And I took off the main like ignition harness that wraps around, and the smog stuff at the back there. And yeah, so I'm just starting to take this thing apart. Sorry I haven't been recording us taking out the engine very much, because it's my first time doing it and I'm pretty focused on doing it right. So I don't want to worry too much about filming and forget something. So yeah, so this is what it's looking like so far. I'll keep you guys updated. Okay, so now I got it stripped down to the block. I took out the lifters, took out like the middle piece there that holds in the retainers, and yeah, so it's down to the block now. The oil pan's off. So you can see that's why I got towels to catch any oil that's coming out. There's not much in it left, but just for safekeeping. But yeah, so now I'm gonna start on the heads, and I'm getting a like a puller or whatever to pull this off so I can get to the timing gear to replace that. So when you guys are doing this, also try to keep track of where the bolts came from. Like in here, I'm just gonna be gentle because I don't want to lose all those. But in here, I have a whole bunch of bags of labeled bolts, and those I write like alternator bracket or like whatever, and that's where I'll put them when they're done. So it makes stuff really easy. Here's the oil pan, how I did it from front to back, and then here's the valve covers. This is top, this bottom, and left to right. So that's how this works too. Left, right, top, bottom. So left, right, top, bottom for heads. So, and then the little clip or whatever that's at the back. And then yeah, I got my fuel rail and some of the new parts that are going on. Okay, so I just finished taking the springs and rocker arms and all that stuff off, keeping track of which goes to which. I'll do one at a time so I don't mix them up. So I'm doing this one, and tomorrow, because it's like 11, I will put the new springs back on, the trick full of springs and the valves and new retainers, and the spark plugs are brand new. I just installed them before I took the engine out, so they're looking a little bit, but you can see they're pretty new, so I'm not going to bother changing them. But yeah, so I'm going to leave that, and yeah, so it's been going good so far. And then this is the tool I used to pull out the springs. It was like $7 at Princess Auto, so it's pretty handy. But yeah, so this is what you need to do that. Oh, I just got the old cam out here, and I will actually show you a tip on how they got that out in a second here. But so I'm comparing the new to the old here. The old was just a stock cam that came with my 1996 302, and this is the TrickFlow TrackMax Stage 1, so the TFS1 cam that we're going to be putting in. It's for a 5.0 Mustang, but like the Fox bodies, so they do fit in here because it's 5.0 and same kind of style of engine. So I'm going to be putting that in there. And you don't need a stall converter for these, which I am very happy about, because I was lining to buy one for like $700, but it turns out you don't need a stall converter for this one, which I'm happy about. And it's got some more intake and valve duration and exhaust duration, and I'll show you guys the card for that. But yeah, so that's exciting. I'll show the block in a second here. Okay, so I just pulled the cam out of here, and you can see right through there. So it's perfect. All the bearings look okay. There's a little bit of scoring there, but yeah, not the end of the world. But yeah, so perfect. Gonna start the reassembly right away, and we're gonna paint the block red and clean it all up. Okay, so my tip for you for taking out this cam is actually taking one of the bolts from the timing cover, because they're super long like this, and they thread perfectly into, it's not this side, it's the other side, but they thread perfectly into the cam there. So you can thread it. I didn't thread it in very far because I didn't need to, but you can thread it all the way in. And then you have something big enough for your hand that you can leverage up and down and pull the cam out. So this is a handy little trick, and then you don't need to make any tools or anything. So this works pretty good. Okay, so I'm just kind of starting to clean stuff up, and I got the intake here. It's degreasing. You can see it's looking a little bit better, and the timing cover. So I got it covered in degreaser, and we are just and then I'm going to pressure wash it, and it's been working actually quite well. You can see how it's gotten a little bit cleaner there. And the insides aren't rusty, actually. They're like stained from like grease and stuff that's in it. But yeah, see, like there's nothing in there, but it's just stained. But yeah, so we're getting there. Okay, sorry for the bad lighting, but it's been a while. I ordered some new parts from Summit, and we're just getting them installed. So I just finished installing the new cam there, and I cleaned up all the engine you can see here, and I scraped off the gaskets. So I need to do a little bit better maybe up there, but and then I installed a new Melling oil pump because my last one, it was all cracked up. It was horrible. So this is brand new. This is the original tube, but this is a brand new pump here and gaskets. And yeah, so threw in the cam, and now we're gonna go into the timing cover and timing chain and etc. So yeah, it's been going slowly but surely so far. Okay, so I just got the new Summit Performance timing chain on, and just getting the cover on. The gasket is a little big, so I might need to trim it here and up and across there, but it's the one from my truck, so I don't know, it's just a little big. Looks like it's coolant port, maybe for the older 302s it went in there, but yeah, so I got some trimming to do there, but I painted it, just kind of just did a sloppy job on it, but I just wanted to clean it up a bit. So I'm just bolting this up, and I got the lifters in. They're the original lifters, but they are like brand new. They look brand new. There's no scoring, no nothing. So there's no play in them. They're all perfect. So I reinstalled them, put some Summit engine, what do you want to call it? This is stuff right here. The engine assembly lubricant, and throwing it all together. So yeah. Okay, it's like 11 o'clock at night now, and I'm gonna wrap it up for the night. I got the heads on, as you can see, and torqued down to spec, and I got the new performance water pump because mine was all rusted and it was just time for a change. So I got this performance water pump here. I'll put the link in, I'll put all my parts at the end of the video, but this is, I really like this actually. It looks pretty fancy, but, and I got well, you saw the lifters. But yeah, so I got the heads on. That's the biggest improvement, and I guess this guy. So yeah, I guess I'll start filming again tomorrow, but it's coming along pretty good now. Okay, so I took a short break from working on the engine, and I'm just waiting on some parts. So I decided I'm gonna start painting the rear suspension and mostly like the drums and leaf springs because they're looking pretty rough. They're not necessarily rusty, but they're just covered in dirt, and all the paint stripped off of them. So I'm going to, I bought this, with Canadian Tire, bought this Tremclad Rust and Reform, and it's pretty cheap. It's like, I think $9, give or take, but it's black, and we're gonna paint all this stuff. I got the threads covered up so I can thread stuff on easy, and I got some of the diff covered up because I'll paint that separately, and I just don't want it to look ridiculous in the meantime. So I'm gonna do this, and I'll show you guys the after. And I'm going to be wearing mask and glasses, so if you're doing this, wear mask and glasses too. Sometimes I don't wear a mask, but you should. So yeah, we're going to get to this now. Hey, done. I painted up there and paint most of the leaf spring. I'm gonna do like up, like there after. I'm gonna clean that off first because the paint's peeling, and then back there too, same thing. So actually, I need to get that spot now that I see that. But it actually looks not too bad from here, and this is all done completely. You got to kind of spin it around, do all sides. So that looks good, and yeah, so it looks much better now. I might have recorded this already, but I had to take the water pump and timing cover back off because I had a problem with one of the bolts for the oil pan. So I had to take all that back off, but it's all back on now, torqued down. One of the bolts broke actually, and I got a replacement for that here. And yeah, so it's looking pretty good. And I'm just waiting on the intake manifold here. And yeah, and then we're gonna be able to really crank some of this out. All right, so I'm still waiting on the oil pan gasket, but I'm just kind of putting everything together here, kind of painted up like the alternator bracket, power steering bracket, and put on the front pulley and harmonic balancer. And yeah, so it's coming along pretty good now. I'm starting to speed things up, and yeah, it's been good. Okay, so I got a couple of things to say now that I'm putting the engine back together. I got to the intake manifold, and I discovered a large crack that actually goes right across there. You can see it's actually quite big, and it separates the cooling. It's right on like this where the cooling sits, and so you can't really use it. So because I didn't want coolant to come there. So I went on Facebook Marketplace, and thanks to Facebook Marketplace, I got a new lower intake and a new fuel rail with some injectors. It's just a backup, so I have some extras. But the important part is this. Now, you can use, I found out through my searching, you can use, I believe, from 86 to 96 lower intake plethrums, or whatever you want to call it. And the only things you do have to change is you have to change this, because there's different sensors. This sensor, there'll be a sensor right here that you're not going to use, so you could just leave it there. It'll be in the earlier 90s ones, I believe, but it'll be there, and you could just leave it there because it's not going to plug into anything. And the rest of it's the same. This is the same for the coolant temp sensor, and the EGR is the same. Now, a warning with these intake manifolds: if you're going to attempt taking this off, these back two bolts, because the coolant channels go right by here. You can see we even drilled it out badly, but these two coolant ports are horrible. You are blessed if you don't have these corroded out. Like, you can see all the corrosion there. It's not even, like, it's a huge gap there, right here. And same with this one's pretty bad too. This one's not as bad, but this one's bad. So you're going to break a bolt off in them. Actually, it's going to happen. If you don't, you're the luckiest person on the planet. But yeah, so be careful with that. Expect to have a broken bolt. And just for your information too, if you do get a broken bolt, there is no threads in here. So if the bolt gets broken in here, you can hammer it through. But if it gets broken in the head, then there is threads, and then you got to drill it out and extract it. So yeah. All right, so it's been a little while, and I got the new intake, lower intake manifold installed, and well, new to me, because mine broke. So this is the Facebook Marketplace find, and I got the injectors reinstalled and the fuel rail. It's all secured, and I got some of the coolant things. Got this routed, got this guy routed, and just cleaning up the wiring harness. You can see this part's done. This part's not. The mice ate through some of the injector wires, so like these guys were protected right here. Like these guys are fine, but these ones were bad. So yeah, that was unfortunate, but we got it solved now. And yeah, so we're just kind of cleaning that up, and then we're going to install that, and then I guess I'll be installing the oil pan seal next. So yeah. All right, so I just finished doing a quick little paint job. I cleaned up the bottom there where the engine's going to go, and I cleaned up there and painted it all black, and the power steering pump I painted, and yeah, so it's looking pretty good. So most of that's cleaned up, and I'm just getting the last thing. I got my headers ordered, and then I just got to get them fit to have an O2 sensor bung, so I can put the O2 sensor in, and then yeah, we're going to be putting the engine back in, so that'll be exciting. Okay, so I'm getting very close to putting the engine back in, and I'm doing a smog delete. So I want to give you guys a few tips on how I'm doing that. And so the first thing is, you can buy these kits off of like eBay and stuff, and they close these off. It looks like just a little version of that. It'll close it off, but I'm not going to spend the money on that. It's like 40 bucks to buy it and ship it, so I'm not going to do that. I am using the original tube. And I used from, let me just pass here. It's from this part here. This is one of the parts you'll take off. It looks like a little blow-off valve almost. And I stole the hose from this side. You can see where it's off right there. And I just got two hose clamps, and I put the first one down here and attach it because it fits. And then I'm gonna get something to plug this hole. So yeah, I'll show you what I get. Or what I find to do that. It might be a piece of rubber, piece of something like that, maybe a screwdriver handle, something like that. So yeah, and then if you guys are also thinking of doing an EGR delete, do not do an EGR delete on these. Do not. I made the mistake of thinking I was going to, and fortunately my EGR had broken already. So it wasn't, I didn't cut it myself, but it had broken, so I have to get a new one. But they're expensive, so just don't play with them. And if you do an EGR delete, you have to get your whole computer reprogrammed, because you'll have idling problems. You'll run like a mile a gallon, and it's just a handful. So don't do that. But yeah, so I will show you guys more info than that on a second here. Okay, so this is the belt you'll need. I'm doing a smog delete, so this is the belt you'll need. Here's the part number, and it'll last a long time. But this is so you can bypass the smog pump. And I'll provide a diagram on where you need to route the belt at, should be at the end of the video. So yeah, that's what you guys will need. And as I stated, well, you can see where my tube broke there. There's no way you can see where I tried to get this off and it's not gonna happen. So I have a new tube after I put it on already, right here. So I got it kind of rough fitted because you kind of got to bend it to make it fit where the intake will go. And yeah, so that's done. And I'm just getting it hooked up here on the chain hoist. And I got the old manifolds on just so I can have my engine hoist points on. But after I take it off, I have headers. I'll do an unboxing of those because I'm actually really looking forward to those. So yeah, getting close. We're going to be putting the engine right away here. All right, so just unboxed the headers here. We got some Hedman headers, long tube. I guess Hedman long tube headers would be a better way to say it, but this is what it comes with. You got this is the driver's side, passenger side, and all the hardware because it's like the two I don't even know what you call these things, but it's so you can go like on here or whatever, and you can like adjust it and then I guess weld it or tack it, or just weld it to that first and then you can bolt it up to there. But so there's some welding required and it ups the exhaust. So I don't know what this is. I will measure that and I'll tell you guys what you got to bring your exhaust to, because I know this is big in the stock exhaust. So yeah, so it's exciting and I can't wait to get these hooked up. But for now we're working on getting the transmission hooked up. Okay, so I just quickly got the headers rough fitted on here and looks like they fit perfectly. Let's go around the other side here. Boom. They fit perfectly, so that's exciting. We're just still working on getting the transmission completely hooked up, but yeah, I thought I'd rough fit those before we get working on that, because that's going to be a big job. And then I'm going to get the spark plugs in too. It's going to be really easy to get the spark plugs in with these headers, because the other ones are pretty restrictive, so that'll be nice. And got the smog pump off there. You can see it's a lot of weight gone from it, so that's kind of nice. And I just left the bolts in case one day I want to put something on there. If I need to put something on there, I still have those bolts there. And yeah, I'm going to start touching the alternator, the AC compressor, all that stuff. So exciting. Okay, so the engine is, I think I made a video before this, but engine's in, just added the alternator, and transmission is bolted. Now, if you guys have any questions about any tricks to bolt up this transmission, please ask. To be honest, it was a nightmare. It sucked, but long story short, we had to keep the engine out. Like, we had it in, then we had to pull it back out, and you got to go under the transmission here. Maybe I can go around and show you guys. You have to go under the transmission and go to this bracket that's holding right here, this bracket, and unbolt all of the bolts here. This one, all these. So we can slide down the frame, and you got to clean off the frame. And then you got to go and actually slide the transmission down and back, because after you have that bolted, and make sure you have something under the transmission too. A rolling jack is preferable. Like we had, I don't know where it went, but we had a rolling jack underneath it. So you can slide, it could still be under there too, but yeah, it's up there. It's right up there. But we put that under like the bell housing, and that will allow it to roll freely. And you can then back off the transmission, hit it, don't actually pull it, because if you pull it, it kind of pulls the whole truck. So just kind of hit each side and kind of balance it back and forth. And so we moved it back maybe 1.5 inches. It was like the point where this is the hole, and then the bar was like here. So you could see the hole where it was lined up on that support. So only about like maybe 2 inches, 1.5 inches, give or take. And then you drop the engine in. Then you got to push the transmission back up and use that floor jack to kind of lift it up. And then you want to line up that torque converter first and get those nuts on and torque them down. And then you got to take the weight at the back, get a jack on the back of the transmission and lift that up to kind of even it out. And then you can bolt in each side of the transmission and go from there. So it's a little bit of a hassle. Took most of the day, like give or take 6 hours. And yeah, you could probably do it quicker now that I know how to do it. I could probably do it in an hour and a half, but it was just doing it the first time is always a little tiring. But yeah, so we're gonna start hooking stuff up. Maybe I'll do a time lapse of me hooking stuff up. I guess I got the radiator in already. You're gonna want to take that out. It's easy. It's just bang that bolt, same bolt right there, and then these, that, and that down there you want to take off. And then there's this hose too that just pulls off. So yeah, you want to take that off. But yeah, so got that reinstalled, and yeah, we're getting close. Okay, so it's been a little bit. Got the engine back in, got all the intake back on, and the valve covers, etc. And set the distributor the best I could, and like I said, it's top dead center, and set it what I thought was pretty close to it, but I guess I was a little bit off. But so we did the first start on it, and started out fine. It built oil pressure fine because I have a new oil pump in it, so I was happy to see that. And but I set the distributor wrong, so it didn't sound like it fired, but it was firing really rough. And so I switched it up and kind of rotated it a couple degrees, and that seemed to fix it. And it's firing much better now and running much better. So I am going to probably tune that in a little bit better, maybe get a timing light to do that. But so I got the general idea, and yeah, so it's looking pretty good. I instantly after I started it up, the thermostat in the thermostat housing was set wrong. So you can see that's all taken apart. It was offset, and it after I tightened it down, it was offset, so it didn't seal properly, and immediately out of the bottom here exploded, and like right here, and blew coolant out. So I ordered some new seals from Parts Avatar. Shout out to Parts Avatar if any of y'all are watching. Great sponsor, or a great person to sponsor. But so I ordered some parts from them and a new upper coolant hose here. So it's looking really rough. It's cracked over here too. So I ordered a new one of those, and yeah, so I'm just waiting for them to get here right away. And yeah, so that was unfortunate, but at least I figured it out what the problem was. And yeah, so we'll get that figured out, and then I'll put the video of the first start next to this, and a little bit after it, I got some idling videos, and it cleaned up a bit, but I still got some tuning to do yet, and I'll probably end up either taking it to get it tuned or just getting a handheld like SCT tuner or something. But for now, this is how it runs. Okay, so I just got one of my packages from T-Dot, and which has been a really good company to work with, actually. So, and their prices have been pretty good too. So, I guess if there's anyone watching that too, I'm a good guy to sponsor. But yeah, so they've been pretty good. I do recommend them because they're Canadian, and I guess you American guys, you guys got Summit, you guys got VP Racing, like all those cool companies. So T-Dot's a good little source, kind of like a smaller version of Summit. So it's pretty nice. So I actually got a lot of the stuff there. I think I got this MSD. And I got the breather, so that's what I'll be showing you guys right now. I just installed this into, well, the Summit Racing heads, or the Summit Racing valve covers here, the chrome. So chrome, it's like a Spectre Performance, and it was like 30 bucks or so, and it came in like one of the push-ins, so see, it's in there good. Like, it's not going anywhere. I just had to drill out the hole, and yeah, so it worked pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. It looks pretty good. And I just got the also the shocks, the Monroe shocks I ordered, so I threw those on, and I'll show you guys those right now. Okay, so I did paint the rear diff. As you can see, it's pretty clean. And yeah, so there's my Monroe shocks. You kind of see in there. I'm kind of trying to crawl under here, but yeah, so they look really good. And they actually, like, I already jumped on the bed, and they work quite good. So very pleased with that. Hi, welcome back. So if you've watched this far in the video, thank you. And this is the end of part 1. In part 2, I will be making a full exhaust using a flux core welder, and I don't know if you guys know about flux core welders, but it's a MIG welder, a style of MIG welder that has the gas inside the wire, so there is no need for gas. So it's budget, gonna be a budget exhaust, and I'll show you guys the money that I spent on that. And yeah, so that'll be good. I'll be doing that in the second part, and I'll be tuning it up in the second part, just getting all the other stuff kind of finished up. And yeah, so it's been a good build, and I'll give you guys a time frame on it. And yeah, thanks for watching this far. Hope you enjoyed, and hope I can help you if you have any questions. So thank you.